Released in 1984 for the IBM PC Junior, King's Quest marked the beginning of a 15-year dynasty that arguably played a big part in the development of the fledgling game industry. Written and designed by Roberta Williams and programmed by a team of 6 programmers, King's Quest was the result of an agreement between Sierra Online and IBM, who wanted games to showcase the graphical capabilities of the PC Junior home computer. After its initial release on the PC Junior and subsequent lackluster sales due to the poor market performance of the PC Junior, Sierra ported the game to various other platforms, including the Apple II, Tandy 1000, IBM PC incompatibles, Amiga, Atari ST, Macintosh, and even a console port on the Sega Master System. By releasing the game on multiple platforms, Sierra ensured a high degree of market saturation, and the game achieved high sales that quickly turned the small Oakhurst-based Sierra Online into a major player. Built around a scripting engine Sierra dubbed the Game Adaptation Language, or GAL for short, and later renamed Adventure Game Interpreter, also known as AGI, King's Quest featured 16-color vector graphics, layer-based draw priority to give the game the ability to allow a player-controlled character to appear behind objects as well as in front of them in a kind of pseudo 3D, a text parser, and rudimentary PC speaker audio. The backstory of the game was expanded once the game was ported to IBM PC and Apple II to include what many people, myself included, consider to be the base version of the story. The original PC Junior and early IBM PC releases of King's Quest featured only a very basic story, and the backstory added later expanded on this to give the game a much richer narrative. When the game was re-released in 1987, it was renamed King's Quest, Quest for the Crown. The game's settings and puzzles are a smelting pot of fairy tale tropes, with Roberta Williams injecting classic fairy tale characters like the witch from Hansel and Gretel, complete with her gingerbread house, of course, the gnome Rumpelstiltskin, which featured one of the most obscure and obtuse puzzles ever conceived, requiring players to literally write out the alphabet backwards and spell the gnome's name using that backwards alphabet, the Beanstalk from Jack and the Beanstalk, and assorted other mythological creatures from fairy tales like fairies, dragons, wizards, and giants. The puzzles are usually logic-based, with a few notable exceptions like the aforementioned guessing the gnome's name, which was simplified in the 1990 remake to accept the gnome's name spelled backwards without going through the backwards alphabet nonsense. Most of the game's difficulty comes in the form of any kind of climbing or dealing with stairs and cliffs. This is a trait shared by just about all of the pre-point-and-click Sierra adventure games and is the biggest source of deaths in the game. The most noteworthy offenders in this game would be the Beanstalk and the Cave Pathway system, both of which lead up to the second of 3 treasures required to complete the game. When I played through the game, I literally had to save every couple of steps taken because the path you are allowed to climb is literally only a few pixels wide. Patience and diligence is the name of the game with these early titles, and the moniker "save early and save often" is often the absolute best advice you'll ever get when playing these games. Sierra games are also well known for their dead-end puzzles, and it is very easy to wind up in an area of the game with no way to proceed because you didn't get the MacGuffin necessary to get past a puzzle before reaching said puzzle. This tradition goes all the way back to the beginning and is in full effect here in this game. An example would be towards the end of the game when you were inside the Leprechaun Kingdom. If you didn't explore the land around the Leprechaun Kingdom's entrance and happened to miss the mushroom sitting by itself next to a riverbank by jumping right into the kingdom, you will end up stuck down there with no way to shrink yourself to mouse size in order to fit through the tiny exit hole. And if you happen to only use one save slot and you overwrote that save before entering the kingdom without the mushroom, well, you just bought yourself a one-way ticket to restarting the game from the very beginning. This isn't such an issue these days with the internet at our disposal, with FAQs, walkthroughs, and maps literally a few mouse clicks away to help prevent encountering such dead-end scenarios. Back when this game was new, you learned the hard way via good old-fashioned trial and error. Of course, Sierra later sold hint books for this in other games, utilizing a variety of schemes to help you only get the hints you needed, either via a magic highlighter that would permanently reveal the solution to specific questions, and later via a red-tinted window card that revealed the solutions to questions that you needed answered while hiding the solutions to everything else. And of course, there was also a helpful hint line you could call to get hints. but you needed to be mindful of those long-distance charges. They were brutal back in the day. The story of King's Quest follows the adventures of Sir Graham, originally Sir Graham in the 1984 PC Junior release, one of the valiant knights of Daventry under the rule of the benevolent King Edward, who has been tasked to retrieve 3 magic treasures: a magic mirror that can see all things, a magic chest that is forever full of gold, and a magic shield that renders whoever uses it invincible. With these 3 treasures secured, according to Edward, the land of Daventry would know bountiful peace and prosperity, and should Graham succeed in his quest, Edward would make Graham his heir, and he would inherit the throne upon Edward's death. It's not much of a story to go off of, and it certainly doesn't address Roberta's fascination with fairy tale tropes, but the beauty of King's Quest is in its simplicity. It's a simple game to get into, and a simple game to play. And even today, there's still something magical about revisiting the game that many call the grandfather of the graphical adventure game. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to playing this game until 1990, when the game was remade using the Sierra Creative Interpreter, also known as SCI, which I purchased using birthday money I got from my grandparents, and was universally panned by fans and critics alike for messing with the classic. By that point, I was already firmly familiar with the series, having cut my teeth on games like The Black Cauldron, as well as King's Quest 2, 3, and 4. That being said, when I went through and decided to do my long play series for this channel, I opted to go with the MS-DOS port of the original 1984 PC Junior release emulated via ScumVM, for both its historical significance as well as a desire to play the game as it was originally envisioned by Roberta. The game is extremely easy to get these days, with the original version and its 1990 SCI remake available on GOG and frequently on sale at a deep discount, as well as a 2001 fan remake by Tierra Entertainment, who are now known as AGD Interactive, created using SCI Studio and featuring hand-drawn 256-color graphics, a mouse-based point-and-click interface in the same vein as the later Sierra point-and-click adventure games, full narrator and character speech, and reorganized MIDI music by Quest Studios mastermind Tom Ledowski. If you haven't played this game yet and you're a fan of adventure games, there is no reason not to check this game out. I enjoyed playing it as a kid in the early 90s, and I enjoyed revisiting it now in my late 30s. Thank you for watching this retrospective on King's Quest. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, as it helps me immensely as a YouTube content creator. If you want to stay up to date on my video uploads, please click on the subscribe button and consider following me on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to support the channel, please consider visiting my Patreon page. With a donation of just $1 per month, you'll get access to my videos as they are completed, instead of waiting for them to be released at their designated release window. Most videos are completed up to a month in advance, and some of my series have upwards of 2 months worth of content ready to go, along with access to other patron-exclusive benefits, such as access to a patron-only Facebook group where you can communicate with me and other patrons directly, patron-only contests, and other benefits. So thank you again for watching, and if you have any comments or feedback, please let me know in the comments section. Until next time, take care!